Here's welcome back to Star Wars Interworlds. Made a little bit of progress off stream. As you can see, the update has dropped. One of the new additions that wasn't in the previous stream, the Air Quinton. And we have moved our blockade and reinforced it a little bit. And we are building a station, so a couple of indicators there in the background. Got a Victory right beside us. Customs Corvette. Second ISD-1 and our ISD-2. We have updated the ships, basically selling off the old ship. And I gave myself the money just to replace it. Because we are not creating. Oh, a K just came through. Right, so this ISD-1 is too far away. The one underneath us. And as you can see, the bridges are working fine. Yeah, this is our current blockade. Got the dreadnought there in the background. We have taken down an eye from here. So I consolidated our two smaller fleets. I got the stations up and running with their guns. Through manual trade. And that's all going fine there. This gate has been really quiet lately. And we did have an I and a couple of Ks come through this gate. So I had to kind of rapid response this fleet down. And once we got into this system, we faced off against another I. And basically we've been just wrecking everything that comes through that gate. Couple of Ks, mostly fighters though. Start at one or two things here. So what we're going to do is take this Arc-10, sorry. This is the view from the bridge of the Arc-10. I'm going to keep saying that. Odd. Here's our second one. Oh, another K. Yeah, that's much better. The two. Okay, all the ISDs are in range now. What we want. Even if it's just the main battery of that one, that's fine. The fact that two Ks came through that close together, though, is interesting. And they're melting in. Yeah, the Arcton is pretty maneuverable, actually. It is technically a light cruiser. Well armed though. So 2 turrets on top here for main batteries. 4 turrets on the bottom here. Again, main batteries, and then a couple of, we'll say, point defense along the edge of the hull here. 4 on this side. 2 on the back here on the top. And then obviously 4 on the other side. Got decent armament. Yeah, we've moved up here. Danger. Set up a blockade here. Effectively blocking off this. What I want to do is build up a fleet to come in behind the blockade and clear out the stations. So I feel the likes of the Arcton, Dreadnought, the Vindicators and the Victories, they fall prey to the station turrets way too easy, in my opinion. We also have the immobilizer here. Here. I actually want to move him a little bit closer. I want to make sure he's in range. And yeah, anything that comes through that gate can be dealt with. We did have a K come from the middle of this system up to the station here. We dealt with that, but I do have to add more guns to that station, even though they'll be outranged. Is that asteroid moving? I've never seen the asteroids move like that. Yeah, mainly what I've done then is arm the stations that we have. Yeah, there is a K down here, okay. Not too worried about that. That was a force attacking the system that we're about to go into. Which is why I'm going this way. I want to see what's in there. If we can deal with these 2 sets of shipyards, then we can perform the blockade up in the system in the northwest of the map. Even there you can see cruiser moves pretty nicely. Deal with this quickly. Again, it's a lovely model. Alright, a couple of stations left belong to the split. Good. The station will at least give us time to respond to an attack. Okay there. So at the moment then their only other shipyards are up here, and that is just going to be a nightmare. Pure nightmare. But it does mean we have to deal with these guys and this one before they make their way through here. On that note, could do your missions and get some money. Then hopefully pretty soon I'm gonna get maybe another ISD-1. 17-kilometer range main batteries. As I was going to say, their main supply of backup ships that we're not going to know about are going to come from this area. Nothing to really stop them here anymore. They were cleared out by the Empire and by the Xenon afterwards. I did take a mission, this one here. Kill a Court of Corps P, which is fine, except that the second ship is an I. So, yeah. We just spawned an I in the middle of Heretic's End. We cannot deal with it right now. So, our current main goal will be to get into this system, set up another blockade here, destroying that defense platform, set up our own defense platform, and then basically come in here and clear this up.
Entering wretched skies on family.
Xenon mounting defense of Wretched Skies 10. Xenon mounting defense. Contested. Okay, they have their station down. Sometimes. That's our time limit. Of course, there is another new addition that we'll look over in a minute. The custom ship. Supply ships are now back in the game. In the mod, I mean, excuse me.
Entering system. Heretic's End.
I thought we'd be able to see it. Yeah, there's an eye just back there. There's also a CAC installation here. So I'm presuming that they respawn pretty quickly, as there is one here too. Again, we have lost a couple more miners to CAC in 18 billion, so I presume they've respawned here as well somewhere. Yeah, you can see there. So we'll continue to get extra protection for our miners because we need the money. I did realize that I didn't have that dynamic wars on for a little while. See there, a large installation. I went over there, the Vindicator, for a little while yesterday. Going to the split weapons cache. Where does that want us to actually go? Huh. I just started the mission for the weapons research.
Entering system. Stronghold.
So all factions should now have the Harbor class. It's pretty cool. Definitely have to get one for the fleet. Must have a look actually and see. Oh, the engines look the same, okay. I was just wondering about that. 44 from New Republic, but 25 from the Empire. Yeah. No missions. We probably will build a new station as well to start churning out turret components. I bought the plans for the module. See if we can get that set up. My ride and preemptive defenses. So okay, not gonna bother with either of them. I'm gonna let the autopilot do its thing. Bring us over to do this split weapons cache. Get that out of the way. Not sure how I'm gonna deal with that eye yet. Another K. Oh, wait, did you do that? I don't like when it does that. Repositions everything. Points on taking a few hits, but another K dead.
Disengage.
I'd love to know the stats on whether that actually affects the Xenon
Entering system. Stronghold.
economy. Like, how much is the fact that we just killed 4 Ks actually helping? There were 3 ships part of this mission. I killed one of the Ps. There's 2 Ps and an I. So I was kind of hoping that someone would engage the I and then we could just finish the mission. But God. I found with the stock loadout, the Arc 10 is good against corvettes, not as great against fighters, just with the very stock loadout. Obviously you can change that. Did I pick up 2?
Entering system.
Actually, pretty cheap for what it is. We're going to make a squadron of these along with Vindicators and Dreadnoughts. And then we might swarm an eye. See how it goes. Test it out. So it's the CSA. Up in here into large ships, Arc 10. Talking 22 million. But those engines cost 10. So you're talking 14 million for high preset. Pretty good. Quads and duals. Rapid turbo lasers, which I've gone for. A group of 4. And rapid turbo lasers also on top. Actually, what's the range on these ones? 10 kilometers. The rapids are
Entering system.
9 kilometers.
Warning star.
Pretty much all I'm worried about. As we were saying, then it has a bunch of smaller turrets.
Entering system. Tactic class choice.
Look at all those stations. With that bug with the sun. Not quite sure what that is. Very pixelated. Power distribution unit. There are a lot of Xenon around here. I'd love to know where they're filtering in from. Oh, actually, what's the boost speed like? Just getting in range now. I'm really looking forward to when they put in the heavy cruiser variant that we saw in the Mandalorian. I'm pretty sure that's coming at some point. I think Mick is a big fan of that ship. Mandalorian pirates attacking the New Republic.
Thanks for your help. Here's a little something as thanks.
What are we doing here? Oh, we also got the Claytronics factory finished. Trading station is making some nice money. That's good. Really good. Just to note, I did that accept estimates just before the stream started. Pop down here and see what's attacking this station. Probably Fhiach. What are we at? 17. When we can afford it, we'll buy 2 more Arc-10s. They can come with us. Can have a little squadron. Single CAC fighter. We will eventually destroy that station. Cool. Just wanted him to do his attack run before we get into firing range so that we don't hit the station. Yeah, pretty maneuverable. That was nice. I am paranoid and I do like to keep an eye on the blockade. I did let the game run overnight when I fell asleep and came back to see that we'd lost everything. I don't like to cheese things, but I say we nearly lost everything. All we had left were the stations and Silent Witness. What I think happened was a fleet came down, knocked out our small fleet that was defending Tharkus Cascade. I think a fleet came down through here, knocked out that fleet, came in here, came in behind this fleet. Judging by the losses. Find this weapon cache. I presume we're going to have to find a bunch more of them. Right, of course, get on our way. Go get this cache. is.
Cache is located around here. Do be careful in this area.
Why? Yeah, I've never done the new research missions. There's obviously something on my map there.
Lockbox.
Ah, lockboxes. Yes, of course. Do I even have a hand laser? Well, unfortunately, we can't control the turrets manually. So let's just make sure that you have no orders or assignments. Of course, Arcane has the new bridge as well. It is bought from the CSA, so it's laddie. Or is this just under the bridge? Yeah. Hey, Peanut Pete.
Something's hit us.
They do look awesome, yeah. Alright. We're all good. Right, first lockbox. Yeah. I usually do this in a fighter, but I forgot to bring one. Uh-oh. Oh my god, no. We are in a spacesuit. Yeah, if you want to be really precise with lockboxes is the way to do it, but prefer to get a fighter and just blast them off.
Feel free to destroy anything which remains. Bring it up to speed and we can get started.
I actually think this is pretty risky if more laser terrors spawn. You can just teleport back to the ship anyway. Watch them one-tap me. Electronics factory has insufficient funds. Nothing new there. There's nothing in them, that's fine. Escape. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted this. But there is something in it. Wait, really is okay. A little bit of clipping on the edge of the elevator there. I just bugged that mission now. Yep, I think I might have bugged that mission. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Let's just grab this. Teleport in. Let's move on out. I suppose it's a quick mission if you're just doing the PHQ and you want to do it, get the research started. Probably going to spawn next door the whole time. Let's pop back in here. Go here. Mobilizer. Is part of the blockade. Is that an eye? Yes, it is. That's the one. That's the two. Yeah, the two moved. I don't know what happened there. You have to be super fast there for the race mission. I don't know that mission. I don't know the missions in general. The let's say campaign missions. That are Quentin gonna be lucky.
Entering system. Grand exchange.
I want to see this because I want to see that the blockade can handle an eye when we're not there. No problem when we're sitting there. That victory at our Quentin is going to go down. His shields are nearly down. Dreadnought's shields are down. Star Destroyers I'm not worried about. Maybe I should be. I mean, imagine it's not in range of the station. A should go down in a second, and then everyone will focus back onto the eye. Is down. And now the eye is starting to go down. And we get it before losing a Vindicator and an Immobilizer. And a victory. Come on. Yeah, lost the Aquitaine. Vindicator down. And eye down. There we go, eye down. That's 3 eyes in the last 2 hours of gameplay. I'm not going to repair any of them. They can repair themselves. Suppose I could just teleport over there. Yeah, I've never really done any of the stories that are in X4. I just generally always go off and do my own thing.
Headquarters.
Just teleport over. So that fight with the eye is a much quicker fight if you're there.
Hello there. Now then, we should be able to begin our research. I look forward to seeing how this turns
You
out.
think it's the first mission for the engine tech? God. Great. Well, we might not be doing that. I want weapon mods. So that I can get extra range. Possibly. Yeah, we don't need anything else on this station. 10 is here. A couple of TIE fighters guarding it. Actually, what I'm going to do is you and you. I'm going to intercept for me.
Joining squad.
Let's set them to docked. Again, assuming they're going to dock on either side here. See what they do. Yeah, another lovely model. Yeah, it won't take long. They'll be here in a second. And I need to get a supply ship for that fleet. A Vindicator in Arcton is what, 35 million? We lost 35 million and they lost, lost 4 to 5Ks? And number of mining ships and so on. We lost the Immobilizer too, so that's another, that's about 50-60 million that we lost. Right, they're great ships to have, especially against the Xenon, because they're very useful against corvettes and fighters and so on. But you really want capital ships when it comes to eyes and stations and the like. What way are you going to go? You can have issues. You'll get there eventually. I'm kind of wondering, if we take out a shipyard, how long until the Xenon rebuild? Or do they rebuild shipyards? In your game they don't. I think we're going to do a scouting mission with a save beforehand. Oh, wait. That tie got free, so let's let him dock before we go through. You could be very right on that, because I know that it was actually the Rebel Alliance came down through Frontier's Edge and took out the shipyards here, and as you can see they have their defense platform. But the Techno Union came through faulty logic and just wiped out the Xenon. So this shipyard and wharf got taken out really early. So the Xenon were never a problem down here. But of course, the Mandalorians have had a huge issue because they're surrounded by them. They've been keeping them at bay here. I'm pretty sure there's one in here. I'm pretty sure there's one in here. And we know that there's one down here somewhere. Right. Autosave. Wait. So I'm gonna take in... I'm thinking the Arc Quinton into that system, get out of that shipyard. Maybe we could get another, what, 60 million together? Get another ISD. We just roll in with 4 ISDs. Give them an order to jump straight into the middle of the system and then beeline it for the shipyard. We could cut that off, and then we can systematically get rid of the rest of the stations. But then we could bring the fleet back into Tarkus Cascade and do the same there. I do, but I've taken a couple of systems off the Xenon. I didn't build stations at all at the beginning of this. It's very meta, you know. So I've only been building defense stations in systems that we've taken. Yeah, my saves have been taking a while lately, so happy with that.
Entering Grand Exchange.
So we basically invaded Arcus Cascade. I just left the station here because we were coming in here and I put a station on either gate. We were blockading this, basically using this fleet. So I have another station built here. It's a bit too far away from the gate actually, but again we're going to push through. There's not much in this system, only those 3 stations. But what I could do is manually fly a Star Destroyer in. Of course loaded up with fighters. Manually fly it through the gate so it doesn't stop. Then teleport back, bring in the next one. We could just bypass their gate defenses. Hit the shipyard and then get out. But I haven't been in that system in a while, so let's go check it out. Railguard interceptor was destroyed. I would love if there was a bit of diplomacy in the game. That you could request a fleet from, you know, an ally or whatever. Request help, you know. Damn asteroid. So yeah, this run through we've not gone huge on economy or anything like that, so you know, I'm not making hundreds of millions an hour so that I can just build ships and stations everywhere. Customs corvettes, dealing with that. Good, good. And let me just set... Oh yeah, you got away because we no longer have the immobilizer. That's great. Of course, most turrets are now destructible. That is another update to 0.48. It's fantastic. Right, we'll make our way over and have a look, see what's going on.
I had come to the end of my research.
Good for you. Yeah, so like we've taken out multiple eyes in that area now. And even more Ks. I have to wonder how many they can pump out and how fast. They probably have a full economy. In those two solar systems anyway. Because all they need is ore and energy cells. A neutron cruiser. That's weird. Yeah, we do have multiple stations in this system that we need to take out. Again, I just didn't want to lose the fleet before blockading the gate. That was definitely the bigger issue. The autosave wasn't too long ago. We need to bulk up that station too. Tractor beams going on the ISDs. Let's do a quick save. I need to see those wrecks though. And we're going to jump straight in. See what's in the next system. Again, there's not much in the next system. The only issue being the defense station. But with 3 ISDs, we should be able to take that. Have the rest of the fleet come in behind the ISDs. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of ships slipping through at the moment. What I might do is build an immobilizer first. Catch those fighters and corvettes. Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, it's those 2 stations. And there's a defense station up here by the gate. There's a platform being built there. They haven't done much in this system yet, so we might just push in. But we're about to jump into a system that's been basically untouched by anyone but Xenon since the start of this run. With a shipyard in it. Probably a wharf in here too, I don't know. Okay, 2 more Ks on their way to us. We'll deal with them. Really nothing at the gate. Mining ships and wrecks. Damn, we might have to assault this. Alright, let's see what's up here.
Xenon Shipyard.
Yeah, they already have another one up. Crazy. Great mod for X4, it really is, yeah. Wait, that's all that station is? Okay. I'm bringing in an ISD. Let's start guidance there. We could sit at 16-kilometer range and just plink the station with an ISD. See that eye turning around for us at all? I think it's about time. That I remove this threat. We'll do a surgical strike with an ISD. Magnificent would actually be brilliant as well, just with the amount of guns it has. Turn its belly on a station and then just let it rip. Yeah, you see, there's 3 Ks in here. That one slipped in from behind. Deal with that in a second. It's focusing on the station anyway. He's not long for the world. He's sitting in front of an ISD-2. Oh, the ISD-2 is probably just handling both of them. The sound of it, the station is getting hit. A down. We have rapid fire turbo lasers. K's down. That station hasn't got any guns yet. So it's just getting wrecked. Just have a look at this. Oh, how am I doing that? Okay, it's just fighters in his group, that's fine. Our station's just getting wrecked. Fair enough, has no weapons, no shields, nothing. Customs Corvette is down. Great. Set up the guns a little bit. can take the hits. But you can see the way that the ISD-2 just melts Ks with the main batteries. ISD-1's not bad, but it's, you know, it's no 2 by any stretch of the imagination. Another K down, so that's 3 Ks down. That was the fleet that we've met along the way, and also one that came in from behind us. That's a massive chunk of a fleet gone, you know? Right, let's see if we can do this with a single ISD. $21 million. I was wondering why that K was down there. But this one here, I would imagine came through this gate. Or was the one that was down here.
I was asked to drop my cargo.
But again, more than likely came from the shipyard over to the northwest, sorry. Let's get rid of one source. Hopefully we don't go through the gate and bump into an eye. That would suck. We'll have 2 Ks as an escort. Continue to drift along. Got a bunch of Ps, fighters. I'm pretty sure that the I and 2Ks are not going to leave the shipyard system. They're defense fleet. Anything that we're facing at the gate is extra. So we're going to go full travel drive through the gate. I'm going to go past the shipyard. Line up that we can take out the fabrication facility first. There must be a warp in there too. As long as we don't hit a piece of wreckage and then get caught by the eye. Decent complement of interceptors as well. It might launch as a distraction, we'll see. See how many defense drones this thing has. Hopefully don't get tagged by that station. our speed up going through the gate.
Entering system.
There's a station there. Where is the I and the 2Ks currently at? Right there. Okay. Hasn't really moved. It's definitely moving now. Don't shoot me. So in theory we can cut off their supply of capital chips from this area, right? I'm gonna drift an ISD past the shipyard. There's another K. Main batteries are set to attack capital ships, so they'll only fire on the station or Ks and Is. I'm gonna get in as close as I can until any weapons open up on us. We can get any of our other weapons up though. That's it there, isn't it? Yeah, I think that could be a wharf over there, but we'll have to have a look. Keeping an eye out for a nasty silhouette. To be honest, we'd be dead anyway, so... move in a little further. As many weapons as possible opening up here. Let the TIE fighters do their thing. Yeah, all those defense drones, look at that. of defense drones. Look, guys. 16 TIE fighters. Oof. Pretty much a suicide mission here, but hey, we're taking out this bloody shipyard if we can. Again, I'm just keeping an eye in the distance. We know there's 2K, oh, there's 3Ks down there. And an eye. Pretty sure we'll see them pop in pretty quickly. Swarms and swarms of drones. Hey, Seabell, how are you keeping, man? Yeah, we have a bit of firepower. Nothing crazy. I'm just hoping it's enough. We have to completely dismantle this station. Again, just keeping an eye out. I'm prepared to lose this Star Destroyer, but if I don't have to, obviously we're not going to. Whereas our interceptors are doing work for us. You know, the war is okay. I've decided to be a bit proactive. We're going to take out this shipyard. We've moved our fleet. Up to the next system. And we're going to just... This is a hit and run. That's all it is. And I'm going to fly through their shipyard to get all guns fired. So I want to cut off supply of capital ships here. Eventually we're going to get swarmed by the defense drones and it's not going to be pretty. But I'm hoping we can decimate the station beforehand. Kind of why I picked an ISD 1 over 2, just might have a better chance of dealing with drones for a little while longer. Doesn't have the brute strength of the 2 though. We still have 11 interceptors in the fight out of 16 that we started with. That's pretty good. Like, look at this. Now, I know the ISD has taken out a bunch of them, but 16 interceptors. Just doing a quick scan in the background. You're sadly working with the BLS. Oh man. We kind of wiped them out earlier in a system or two. Come on, ISD. Get through this station. Oh, well now, here we go. There's our time limit. Doubt we're going to do it because our interceptors are going to get overpowered. Some of them fighting the New Republic and decide to help them. Why not? Put it like that, you know? It's not a bad option. Okay, we're gonna get motoring here in a second. Literally gonna do a loop around the station. Might force the eye to do a crazy maneuver. I have the feeling he's gonna travel drive to us in a minute. This has to cripple their production, right? Still trying to learn the new goodies? Yeah. Pretty awesome, alright. There were some large guns hitting us there for a second. So yeah, just keeping distance from the eye. You'd love to get your hands on the immobilizer? Yeah. We just lost ours actually recently. So we'll have to go buy another one. Pretty sure I can afford one now. Really handy for blockades like we've been doing. Did it have your pirates come in? Yeah, you want to be careful with it because it is an area of effect weapon and it's a hostile action to whoever it touches, so I was building a station near our blockade and the immobilizer went hostile to the builder because it got caught in the bubble. Yeah, just something you want to be careful of. There's the K's coming in with it. A little bit out of the LOD there. Outside of the 2000 killed, Black Sun and Deathwatch who fired anyone. Hey man, fair enough. What would I say is a good flagship early game? Are you just talking about stepping up from a fighter to something heavier? Honestly, the Architon is pretty nice. I like the Vindicator. It depends what you want to do. The Architon... No, I'll pause because I don't want to get jumped by an eye. How many ties have we got left? Sorry. We got 8 ties left. We have half of our TIE fighters left. Against that massive drones. And they're keeping the drones off of us so we could actually get out if we wanted to. How are you guys doing? You're all okay anyway. Yeah, we've been just wrecking K's as they come through. So. Yep, can't give the eye orders. Go here until it's a large, because it is a cruiser. Cruiser frigate. I say there, 12.8 million for high preset. Then again, if you were going they run 20 million with the best engines. They run around 13 million with the second best engines. Like, it really depends. You could get a Corvette, you know. 5.5 million for a CS70. Same for 90. Don't know if anyone actually uses the Defender. Talking about 15 million for an immobilizer. Well, now in my game, obviously the prices are going to fluctuate. But actually, I started, my first main command ship was a Victory. Victory is a very good ship in my eyes. Again, it is about 20 million, but same with the Vindicator, because I went with the Imperial start. An Vindicator about 15 million. A bit of firepower. And can carry fighters. Yeah, I went with a Victory as my first real main command ship, we'll say. Customs Corvette is not bad. I suppose the thing with the Corvettes is not many of them have direct fire weapons. I suppose that's where it is here, isn't it? No, I was already in here. It is, I can't remember the bloody name of it. The AEG-77. Pick up one of them for 4.5 million. Got 4 main weapons. But 2 missile launchers and 2 main weapons. A couple of turrets. I would actually, personally, I'd go for this over the Defender. Just aesthetically. But along that same line, then you could go. I know you're at war with the New Republic. Just under 8 million, you get the Hammerhead. 5 turrets, 4 main guns. Not crazy maneuverable. Anyway, we are attacking a station and about to get wrecked by that eye. That eye looks like he's going to jump down to here. We're going to reverse. He's facing right, we're going to go left, and vice versa. Come on, main batteries. Why don't you want to fire? Nope, don't want to turn that way. Guess one broadside is enough. Okay, 30%. Are we even hitting it still? Are we trying to hit that back end? Okay. Let's just go in and see if we can do this. We're being kind of lucky with the eye not having a clue what to do. Still don't think we're going to get out of here. No, station sieges aren't the most exhilarating thing, but it's going to help a lot if we can just wipe this out. Exploding? You say that's exploding? Yes, it is. Excellent. We're getting out to the nitty gritty here. If I'm right, it is just the 2 fabrication modules that are left. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, come on, get everything going. Get it down to about 10% and that eye is gonna come in and kick our ass. Our interceptors might actually win this fight, which would be amazing. Okay, we're down to the last section. If our interceptors can get rid of the drones, we can dock them back up. Crap. Yeah, here's the issue. They aren't actually hitting anything. Oh man, the Empire has gone nuts in my favor. Got to get our guns in line with a piece of this station. think that's working a bit. And 14%. You can see a couple of our shots are passing through and hitting on the far side. Our interceptors defeated the drones. It's pretty awesome. Let's try and get lined up on these guns. Got so many of them passing through. This is a killer, we're so close. Again, the eye is looking over to our rear, so let's move this way. Well, that's good there. They are hoping for that. That's a bit more difficult. What are our interceptors doing? 16 TIE interceptors. That's all we brought in. 16 TIE interceptors. There we go. We've got a solid hit location there. And our surviving TIEs are just docking up, you know, because they've done their job. 7 survived. % left. So, the question. Do we try and find the wharf and attack that? I don't think I want to right now. I'd love to see the stats on how many drones were killed. That was a nuts engagement. I'm sorry, what's left? %. That's a defense disc right there. See that right there? That's the last section that's keeping the shipyard alive. So let's take that out. And the eye is completely misaligned for us. Doesn't seem to be going for us at all. So, we're not giving the shipyard orders. Align ourselves. There it is. For a time, I hope you mean forever. So I don't want them rebuilding this. Main thing I wanted to do was stop their capitals for now. I just don't think that it would be a good idea to engage another station in the middle of their home sector right now. Whereas we could withdraw and actually bring the fleet up to the gate. And then take that out. But as Pete was saying, I think that's permanent. I don't think the Xenon rebuild their shipyards, but I don't know. So that's a massive strike. If it is true, it's K, that's okay. Don't worry about K. Yeah, that's massive if that's gonna stick. So we could do what we did last in the last system. Skip the stations, come up and take out the defense station that's on the other side of this gate. Hopefully we don't smack into it. That station there. I'm intrigued by the fact it didn't get any shots off. That's a nice little bit of progress there on that. Yeah, silicon and refined metals just making us a nice bit of cash. From that. So we'll regroup with the fleet here. Whoops. Oh, actually, do you know what? Pause that. We need to build up our cruisers and stuff a little bit. Maybe a couple more fighters. We did lose the 3 cruisers that I came through. But again, I'd be hoping that there's no more eyes coming through. I just don't want to lose a bunch of ships taking on those stations, because you can see this station here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules that are going to have heavy turrets on them. The way I kind of want the ISD-1 that has that 17k range. So I would happily manually fly 2 ISD-1s in at maximum range and let them plink away, and have the support fleet there in case anything Dodgy shows up. Of course, we have those two ISD ones right here. The 2 is their support. Again, like the main guns on the ISD one have a longer range, but they don't have the alpha of the octuple turrets. Barrage from these turrets will melt a K. The significant damage to an eye. The damage output from the ISD-2 is higher. It's not to say that the one is redundant. Like for the likes of this mission, the way I thought it was going to plan out, well, the one has more point defense because their loadouts are made cannon. Go over the loadouts here in a minute. Also, it's cheaper, a little bit cheaper. Manually turn around here. Yeah, sorry, I've got a bad little fleet here. Got our Dreadnought, Victory, one of our Vindicators left. Arc-10, kind of just sitting there actually. Put you on intercept for the Victory. He nabbed him with the tractor beam, he did. So that's where the immobilizer would come in. He wouldn't have even got into travel drive. That could be a huge win for us, really. Right, now we've got the guns facing forward. Let's teleport over here. Not a bad view. And we're just going to rotate him, get all the guns on target. With the 3 ISDs here, we'd be hoping that the eye targets one of them with its main weaponry. They do like to spread the damage, especially when you're out of system. If you're out of system, I feel like a lot of your ships take equal damage, which is why you're going to lose a lot of cruisers and stuff. Because it calculates damage from all the turrets. Whereas if you were sitting here, when an eye came through, it would be dead in under 30 seconds and you might not lose a ship. Because you'd be sitting here watching all 3 of these open up on it. We saw that earlier. So the ISD-2 directly engaged an eye out of system. Started spinning around here and here. We nearly lost the victory. We lost the immobilizer, which was over here. And then we lost the Vindicator and an Arc-10 as well. Unfortunate, but guess there's not much they can do about it. Main weaponry is set to attack capital ships. In this case, you do not want that set to attack all enemies, because if it fires off a volley, it has a slow reload or refire rate. You might waste it on a corvette. And let me see. Made it back with 6 because we lost a couple on the way back. Teleport to the X-Ring. Again, as shown before, the X-Ring now has its proper SFO position. I'm gonna presume that's where the bridge is. Yeah, they're sending a few things through, all right. Frames are struggling a little bit. It was fairly cinematic though. So we got our mix of vanguards, interceptors, and of course the Royal Interceptor. Sam Platter Dreadnought survived. Yeah, we definitely need to get a new immobilizer. I'm pretty confident in that blockade there then. At the moment, in theory, the main thing that can come through there is 1I, 2Ks. I want to get a couple of more ships, hit this station, then just blockade this completely. Build 2 stations or whatever. We need to find the wharf, which I think is up here. This one will be tricky because there's 2 stations next door to the gate. That's an I and a K. That's why I haven't assaulted this system. I'd rather just blockade it, and yeah, you can build whatever the hell you want, but when it comes out here it dies. That might be something. Just blockade that, let them build whatever the hell they want.
I was asked to drop my cargo.
And we'll kill it. Fairly happy with the way this is now. In the last couple of minutes there, look. Wrecking stuff. How are you? Funds. Need 5,000 turret components. Let's go to here. Oh wait, this only works in the system I'm in, right? No, never mind. Let's pop you there. Do that. Have all of that. Vertical on there. I'm terrible at this construction, so look for any tips off this. Right, we're going to need a large container. A large container. No, we're only going to need container. And then let me just put down 1 production or whatever. Put that up there. Oh, this has slots for a bunch of places. Interesting. Cost 5 million, whatever, that's fine. And let's assign a builder just to get it started. We can get it into an actual functional state afterwards. Just get that going. And right. Flying around the Xenon system that whole time. Stepped all of that. Then what I wanted to do straight away is get a supply ship would be good. Uh-oh. Alright, let's get out of that. Okay, what the hell is going on? Okay, going out of there. Buy ship. There we go. There's no error. Look at that. There's a high preset. What's wrong? Maybe we're not going to build that today then. Yeah, I might need to reload, but to be honest, if I'm going to reload, I'll end the stream. Gotta get ready for work in the morning. Be doing a bit of Pathfinder Kingmaker tomorrow. If I'm not on call at work, I'll be doing more X4 Tuesday evening, and then I should be streaming 6 hours or so on Patrick's Day. Doing a longer stream on Patrick's Day. I'll be doing Cradle of Humanity, of course. Gotta help him. A lot of P's though.
P.
Yeah, they're just sitting there, so I presume something's after getting bugged. The boost. They always boost. Guns have overheated. Alright, the acclimator disengaged. Slightly. Yeah, this is the next area that we're going to have to deal with. I'd nearly just block this off. I'd be done with it. Happy with that. Was kind of more of a rebel tactic, but well, I don't know, sending in a Star Destroyer to do it actually is pretty imperial. What the hell? Yeah, that's all coming from that new area, or new area. It has to be coming from Litany of Fury. Yeah, Blackstones still have the numbers in here. I think it's as bad as it was before. They're getting attacked every now and then, which is good. Bounty Hunter Guild here. Kind of interested to see the outcome here. Yeah, Customs Corvette has the firepower. CR-90 is very much more anti-fighter. Customs Corvette gets all its firepower onto the CR-90, then it wins. I suppose the weapon placement and arcs of fire are better on the CR-90 though. He's only getting his lighter weapons. Probably still win, will it? Yeah. Customs Corvette will win anyway. There's a decent comparison. Serenity just doesn't have DPS, I guess. Those turbo lasers on the customs. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to leave there tonight. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope you've had a good weekend. And hopefully I'll catch you next time.